This one right here is going to be probably one of my most interesting Bedbuckkken full breakdown videos ever, because for the first time ever in Bedbuckkken Hall of Shame history, we are not inducting one, but two at the same time. And the reason why that is because of the story itself. And it makes sense for me to not do separate videos since they are around or surrounding the same topic. But this story is going to be talking about this white football player by the name of Marcus Stokes, who lost his D1 scholarship at a school in Florida because it got exposed that he used the N-word, and he ended up getting dropped from the team, which means he lost a scholarship, which means he probably had to end up leaving the school because he was on a full scholarship for football, so everything was paid for. So to go from that to paying out of pocket, that's a huge setback. So he ended up leaving. But then he ends up getting an offer from another school to pick him up. Plot twist, it's not another PWI. It's an HBCU. The HBCU is Albany State University. So before I go in on the coach of Albany State, because I wanted to make sure I found out who this coach was, because he was most likely the one who had to have recruited him, I'm going to do the first Bedbuckkken part of this video on Darren Haynes. Now, if you don't know who Darren Haynes is, he is a news anchor or contributor, a correspondent to WUSA 9, which is an affiliate of CBS here in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Anybody who's from this area is completely familiar with WUSA 9. I want y'all to listen to the nonsense that came out of his mouth when he gave his take about this white football player who used the N-word and lost his scholarship and got recruited by an HBCU. Listen to what he says. Of course, this because this is the breakdown part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and, do the stop and go thing. I'll probably leave the link to the whole video if y'all want to just listen to it all the way straight through.
All right, here's what's on my mind. Marcus Stokes, a white quarterback who lost his D1 scholarship for using the N-word, gets a new offer from a historically black college. Let me say that again. A white quarterback loses his scholarship for saying the N-word and gets a scholarship to a black college. Albany State gave the offer, and tons of people were talking about it on social media. So here's my take. Nobody should be using the N-word anyways, and I don't care if it's the N-word that ends with ER or GA.
Now here it is right here. This is the argument that I hate. I had to stretch that out. I had to stretch that hate word out. I hate it with a passion when a person says that nobody should be using that word and whatnot. I find it that it's mainly black people that say that when they're trying to, bridge some kind of a gap that doesn't exist. And it's like in the background, you got PC being upset that they can't use it. But it's the weirdest thing. And I'm going to use their initials here because I don't want them trolls coming to my channel again like they did a couple weeks ago. MD, look at that video right there when he said the war on PC people, and he kept using, not being able to use the N-word constantly over and over again in the second half of the video. Then you have Darren Haynes right here saying nobody should be using the word, whether it's with the GA or the ER. And you already know just from him where he said it right, what he said at this moment right here, what he's about to say, or what you can get an idea of what he's going to say after this. And it's even worse.
Trust me, there are some people out there who believe it's the same word. Now, dictionary.com calls the N-word the most offensive word in the English language. Now, real talk, I believe in second chances, and Lord knows I've had plenty of them. And I know many are upset with Albany State because of this. But this might do the kids some good to go to an HBCU. What better way for someone to learn about the black culture and get educated on racial sensitivity?
What? Are you kidding me? So this isn't even a punishment. Again, Operation Protect the White Boy in full effect from Darren Haynes himself and from Albany State. And like I said, we're going to get in on Albany State because this is going to lead to a bigger conversation beyond just what's going on here with this white football player. His punishment literally came at the hands of a PC school when they dropped him. It's crazy to me how the PC school gave him more of a punishment than the black people did. And I'm not talking about the students and the football players or anything like that. I'm talking about the school of Albany State. Because not only did he get recruited to play on this team, but now he is in the school, which means he's in the classroom with these other students. They have to see him every day. I wonder if the students even knew who the hell he was before he even got there. They probably didn't tell him who he was because they didn't want to be, oh my God, I'm not trying to be around him. And then if they don't tell him, then they're going to be hanging around the guy they think is so cool and not even realizing this guy was calling him the N-word at another location. And God knows what he was saying there. We don't need to be educated. He doesn't need to be educated. Why is it every goddamn time one of these PC individuals, no matter what the age is, they do something like this, we have to be the one to educate them. They don't need no education from us. They know what the deal is. He knew how to say that word. He knew he wasn't supposed to say it, and he did it anyway. We do not need to be holding their hands and guiding them along the way to try to help them get or show the better side of themselves. It is mind-boggling to me how the white school, the PWI, dropped him, made him lose his scholarship, snatched away his scholarship. They, like I said, they did more of a punishment than this school did. Y'all should have let him stay there. That would have been his lesson. That was the punishment. I don't know what the hell Darren Haynes is up here babbling about. Saying if he goes to an HBCU, then he can learn about the culture. What? It's a lot of black people at HBCUs right now who still don't know what the culture is.
Isn't that what we want more people to do in this country anyways?
Oh my God. You know what? Darren Haynes, you have now officially been entered into the Bedbuckkken Hall of Shame for this bullshit that you just said right here. Now let's head on over from WUSA 9 to Albany State University and talk about this coach. All right, this is the coach right here for Albany State, the Golden Rams. He's the one that met with Marcus Stokes, because when I was looking up his name, I found out some more information. He met with Marcus Stokes in December, y'all, in December, to potentially get him on the team or recruit him, and he ended up recruiting him. And I think now it's been made official that he has recruited him. Again, this is another example of Operation Protect the White Boy, but this time you have these individuals, this guy right here who is saving him and protecting him. You know, it's funny because I did a live stream with Kukolas a couple months ago talking about the white savior trope. Well, this is the white person being saved. This is in reverse of a black person saving a white person. Who doesn't need to be saved. They do this a lot in movies, but they also do it a lot in real life. What the hell was this coach thinking? Why did you extend the olive branch out to this individual? You should have let them lay where they were, just as the previous college did, and dropped them, and you should have let them stay right where they were. I don't know what it is with some of our people that consistently think that they always got to help somebody else because they think this is not the goddamn outreach program. Now, what makes this so sad and so infuriating to me is that literally at Bethune-Cookman College down in Florida, the same state where this white kid is coming from to go to this school, you had Ed Reed, who accepted a job offer to coach that team, and literally, like within that same week, he dropped the offer because of conditions at the school, which was the same thing Deion Sanders was going through, but he stuck it out for as long as he could when he was at Jackson State. You even have the kids down there at Bethune-Cookman right now protesting on the conditions of that school and standing behind Ed Reed's decision, because they had to say something, because if they didn't, they didn't want it to fester out into a thing of, oh, he's trying to pull a Deion Sanders, where Deion Sanders got ragged on because he decided to take a better offer to go coach at Colorado State. I didn't really give my take on that because I wanted to leave that alone. But when you think about what happened is now happening with Ed Reed, and then you think about what happened with Deion Sanders, can you really be upset that Deion Sanders took that offer? And if Ed Reed got picked up by a PWI, would you be upset that he took the offer? Because clearly the students down there know something that we don't. And this is coming, and I can say this unbiasedly because I went to an HBCU. So this is not coming from a place of malice of a person who either didn't go to a college or went to a PWI. I went to an HBCU for 4 years. So I stand on the square of I can give my opinion about this situation. So you think of Ed Reed was dealing with conditions at HBCU, a black man who was brought in to coach the team, and he leaves within a week of the offer given to him. Deion Sanders only stays for a season. The kids down there are protesting the conditions at the school. Let's not forget about the conditions going on at Howard University a couple of years ago when some of the kids was literally sleeping outside in tents. It was looking like Skid Row down there on Georgia Avenue. But then you go and recruit a PC kid who was singing, because it said he was singing the N-word, to go and try to rehabilitate him according to Darren Haynes and teach him about the culture. Are y'all insane? This is just mind-blowing to say the least. But at least y'all got something historical out of this one, because like I said, this is the first time I ever had to do a 2-for-1 special with the Bedbuckkken series, where I had to cover 2 in one video. This just blows my mind right here. I don't know what the hell is going on in the minds of some of our people. I don't know what I really don't know what it is. You got Darren Haynes trying to make light of the situation and trying to say, well, nobody should be using the N-word. When they say that, I tune it out. Then you got this guy right here who recruited him knowing what this kid did. Again, it says a lot when the school that he was at drops him. And then it says even more when an HBCU coach recruits him after it. Because I believe that he just got started at this school. Not at the Albany State. I'm talking about when he was at his other school. He just got started at that school that year. I think he was a freshman. He got dropped, I think, before the season even started. Because I read somewhere, I think they said July of 2022 is when it got exposed. So that was before the season got started. And he gets recruited in December of 2022. So he will be good to go next season. And I wonder if they rolled out the red carpet for him and gave him, a full ride like he did at his other school. Oh, and let's not forget, I almost forgot. Let's not forget when Hampton rolled out the red carpet for some of those refugees. The ones from, where was it at? Was that Afghanistan? I think it was Afghanistan a couple years ago when they was going through those issues over there. And they was about to allow them to just come on over and just go to school there. Again, another HBCU. So I'm noticing a pattern. You will treat your black staff, even those who are Hall of Famer NFL former players, like trash. You will treat your current students like trash. But then you will roll out the red carpet for these others who talk shit about you. Again, maybe, maybe it's not for me to understand. Maybe maybe that's the whole point. Maybe I'm not meant to understand this whole situation. That's probably what it is. But my God, this is so disappointing. And it literally just, let me calm down. I got to realize I got to keep everything in check. But I hope y'all pretty much get the point of this. I think you pretty much do. But Darren Haynes and what's his name? Quinn Gray, disappointing. Both of you. And even more disappointment to Albany State University as a whole for even allowing him to come there, knowing what he did.